Right, this is Mike Lewandowski here for my final vlog, and I'm not gonna lie, I am so glad that we're at the end of this session. Not saying that it hasn't been great, but I mean I feel like I've been at my computer for quite a bit of time, and I feel for my kids. They come upstairs and I'm working on stuff on the computer, and they're begging me on these hot days, and they're saying, Dad, please, you got to get me to the beach. And I'm like, I can't today. I can't do it. I got to write this paper. I got to get this syllabus done. There's these unit plans I got to be working on still. And it's just been constant ever since after, for one weekend off after school got out, and bam, taking classes again. So, but it's been a good venture, and I am definitely got a lot of good ideas to bring back into the classroom. I'm excited about them. So, I'm going to talk about that and stuff that went by. I'm going to reflect on these seven busy, rigorous weeks. So, I think that mostly been teaching for 10 years at this point, and a lot of these ideas that I've been utilizing in my class a lot of times. I mean, I've made mistakes along the way. There's a couple I'll talk about probably today, that I've been doing in this class, probably helped me realize that issue, and now I can correct it and revise it. So, but a lot of the big takeaways, I think the number one thing is to tie in with students with the informal learning and all the stuff they're doing at home, and with music, and the musical futures, and the rock band kind of class mentality will get kids to do just that, which is, taking what they already know and what they already want to do, and I think that it's their choice and their voice. They're going to be more motivated to do these projects, and more motivated to do a good job on them, and take some time and really get behind trying to polish it off, and do the best they can. I think that having them have a reflection of the process over time, like through prompts or through reflection when they're done, how did things go? I think that, and I liked Dr. Gulish's examples that she put on her PowerPoint. That is key. I think that, and part of it too, it shows more of the what it took to get to the product. And then I think when you're assessing all that stuff, I think that if you put all your eggs in one basket and you just assess one thing, it's not a real good, valid assessment. And I think you need a lot of different ways to show how the students are understanding the concepts you're putting down, not just fill in the blanks and multiple choice, but actually having them write to you and explain and discuss the processes that they're using, so you know that they're putting them in the right order. And you're encouraging students to try and fail often, because that is how you learn. You have to fall on your face flat and get back up and say, hey, that didn't work out so good. And when you reflect on that and you have the ability to say, well, okay, how can I get this a little better? That's a big thing to get a handle on with those students, that reflection and revising. And part of the assessment should include that component, to make it even more fair and valid. I think that, when I was referring to music students as non-music learners, I was right. That was a good piece of advice that Dr. Gulish gave me. She says, no, they are not non-music learners. They're in your classroom. They're learning music, and they are new music learners. And I think that it's important as a teacher to understand, when you're teaching those general music populations, that some of them will be new, and you have to scaffold and your information so that these new students can get on board, and some will already have prior experience, and you got to make the activities well thought out so they can all equally get into the activity, no matter where they're coming from. And I think that right there is a good opportunity for students to get together and collaborate, when you put mixed abilities together, and you mix students' strengths and weaknesses together, and that art of collaboration, the kids will go through that and experience that, which is good for some of these projects. It shows them that you can't have a finished product if all the parties involved are not working together equally enough, and putting their heart and soul into it. So, and that will transfer into the workplace at some point, when you have students that are learning how to work together, and that's a good skill to have when they get jobs in the future. I mean, it's good to be able to, when you get to problems, to understand and use peer critique to improve on it. Talk about what you could do better. It's delicate, you know. You want to do it. You want to have be a good facilitator in that because you don't want any fights or drama to break out in that population, which is kind of common to the age. I think that that reflection process is also good as a way to assess because you know, rather than just have one test score, or you know, it's good to have a multi-level of a lot of different test samples if you're gonna give a grade for something. And you know, and I think learning about the assessment process and what are you going to assess, what are these skills that you want to make sure that they're capable of doing when they get out of your class. What are you gonna, not just the finished product, but what about the reflections and the vocabulary and their own, how are you going to show they're understanding the skills they're actually learning on the instruments. I mean, you probably have to come up with some good rubrics for that and all. So definitely going to use a lot of what I learned in my classroom. Definitely the unit plan is something I'm going to stick to, and I'm going to use it and in a number of grade levels, tailored, of course, to, you know, age appropriateness. But I think that it was definitely work that will make it into my room. When I was devising the plans up and thinking about it, I definitely had that in mind, that hey, I'm going to use this and I'm going to build on it. And connecting with Dr. Renzoni's class, I'm ready to start planning for. To get the whole scope and sequence going and make sure that everything's all in place and my whole curriculum map is done. And so I'm looking forward to this next 2 weeks where I can just, you know, take the kids to the beach. So it was great class. I really enjoyed it, and it was a pleasure. So we'll see you in the fall. Thank you. Bye-bye.